Hello, everybody, and welcome to a new series that I'm going to start doing. It's called League Philosophy, where I'm going to do full game commentaries or quick game commentaries and talk a little bit about my philosophy on the game, what's going on in game, as well as anything that comes to mind. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Just something a little bit different. Let me know what you think. And yeah, as you can see, I'm playing Diana in this game. Let's just go through each team comp. So it's on my team. I have a Vayne, Diana, a Mumu, Nasus top, and Soraka support. The reason why I wanted to do this gameplay was because we get behind so far in this game. Oh, and the opposing team, let's go through that quickly, is a Caitlyn bot lane, Caitlyn Zyra bot, Zed mid, Udyr top, and an Elise jungle. So the reason why I wanted to do this gameplay is because we get really far behind. I'm going to fast forward a bit here. Nothing really happens level 1. We get really far behind, like astronomically far behind. And in solo queue, when you get behind, everyone's instinct is just to, all chat, say good game, and, don't try, stop trying, start feeding, whatever. Do just not care anymore and, give up at that point. And in this game, I didn't necessarily give up, but I remember my attitude changing completely once we were down really far. And it's something that's been happening to me more and more recently. It's just, especially at higher ELOs, people are less likely to make mistakes in solo queue. So when you get behind, there's, much less of a chance that they'll throw the game and you'll come back. But you have to remember it's solo queue, and people, this isn't LCS. This isn't professional play. And even in, professionals make mistakes too, but League of Legends it's a game that when you get ahead, it's really hard to come back, but it only happens when the opposing team makes mistakes, which they make a lot of. So, my first bit of advice, my first philosophy is something that I think that everyone should really, really adhere to. It's something that's really bad in the League of Legends community, but it's really just keep trying. There are games when surrender is the right option, but you'd be amazed at how many games I've come back and won. So you can see here, Elise is coming in for a level 3 gank. I dodge. It's a decent dodge. One of the things that people do a lot is they'll go way out of their way to dodge a skill shot, and it forces them in an even worse position than they were in. So, just a little sidestep. I sidestepped the cocoon there and managed to avoid that gank. I ward over there. I probably should have warded a little bit earlier. Would have seen her coming in and, would have been in a better position. I could have gotten ganked pretty easily if she had landed that. In any event, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, just my philosophy on League of Legends is that I have been in literally 4v5 games the entire time, and I've won at Platinum. I think the last one I was around Platinum 1 or 2, and we won. It was a 4v5 and we won. You'd be amazed at some of the games that you can... Elise is counter jungling a Mumu here. You'd be amazed at some of the games that you can come back from. People, they aren't entirely focused, or sometimes even in a 4v5, if you're really strong and you have 2 solo lanes and no jungler, or what, 3 solo lanes, everybody's getting full EXP, that could even be an advantage as well. So you'd be surprised at some of the things that can happen in solo queue. And what happens too is something that I'm really trying to focus a lot more on, is your decision making really changes a lot. If in a 4v5, if you're down, you're going to be playing a little more passive. You're just going to be trying to farm and get every advantage as you can. The same thing happens here, is that the reverse of that is we get so far behind that my mentality goes down. I give away free kills, and I just like, well, this game is over, there's no point in trying. And I don't think that's ever really the attitude. You don't learn anything from that, and I'm all about learning. My series is all about learning from your mistakes, saying why, saying, hey, sometimes I suck at this game, and why do I suck at the game? So that's an important thing to do, to always remind yourself. I'm trading really, really poorly with Zed. And I just want to talk a little bit about Runes and Masteries. Sorry, I'm just a little bit all over the place, but Runes and Masteries on Diana, I'm pretty sure I went 21-9-0, because I knew that Zed is someone that is going to want to trade, and we're both melee, and I'm a caster, and I didn't want to go into utility, but as you can see, I'm really low on mana. I went the health pot and mana pot start. It's like three mana pots, 8 or 9 health pots, and a ward. I can't really remember. There's another trade. He uses his red pot here, and now I'm really screwed. I should look to clear this wave and then push out. Amumu came in for a gank trying to help out. You know, nothing really came of it, but it is what it is. So I should go back here, but I don't. I don't really know why I don't go back. I was afraid that he's going to push into tower, but really, you got to play safe in scenarios like this. They're up already almost 1,000 gold on us because I'm not farming very well. I do a really bad job farming it with Diana in this game. She's relatively difficult. Uses his ultimate, and I have to flash away. So that's what I was saying. I stayed way, way, way too long. And his ultimate has a relatively low cooldown, but here comes Elise again. But my flash is a 5-minute cooldown, so his ultimate's going to be up before my flash is up. So really, really dumb play on my... I'm still out of mana, and I'm staying. I think I'm just trying to bait it. You know, generally, I play a lot of Zed, so I know the temptation as a Zed player to you know, flash onto someone and then W out. It's relatively easy. I'm just trying to bait it, I think, but with no mana, I'm not going to do anything, and it probably wouldn't be a good trade for us. So I tell Mumu to come in here and push the wave for me. I'm going to fast forward during my backs. And oh yeah, so Zyra Caitlyn is like one of the most annoying lanes, especially for Vayne Soraka, which is relatively passive. You know, they just want to farm. They killed their tower at, God, what was it, like 5 minutes? It was the quickest tower I've ever seen, and that's huge. Nasus also is down. He's down 2 kills. He died 1v1 in top lane, and Elise just came in and ganked him. So that's 2 towers down. We're 2,000 gold down, 7 minutes in. That's pretty huge. And having those towers down means that mid's going to be able to roam. That bot lane's going to be able to roam mid, and then the same thing with Udyr. You know, he's going to be able to free farm even more. And one of the things about Udyr, one of the things about Amumu, and one of the reasons why I don't think he's as strong as he is that in Season 3, it's all about early game pressure with ganks and having sort of all-around tanky bruiser type junglers, and Amumu doesn't really fall into that. His ganks pre-level 6 are really, really weak. He's really weak in the jungle if you get counter-jungled. And so here, I should be pushing, or no, actually, I think that I know that bot lane's missing, so I see Udyr's really overextended, and I want to get a kill. I don't know what happened there with my Moonfall. It didn't pull him in at all, and I just kind of stopped there like, what happened? I probably was saying something to Nasus, but look at the creep waves. He's doing what he needs to do. He needs to try and farm and try and get back in the game as much as he can. And I'm trying to be desperate here and roam and do stuff, but I'm out of mana. I can't really do anything. I don't have any items. I wanted to rush the Seeker's Arm Guard to get some extra tankiness against Zed, but just, I don't know. I needed to focus more on my lane, but again, I was afraid I only have 1 ward here. They have this pinked, our whole jungle is warded, which when bot lane wins like this, or kills a tower this quickly, you can just roam into our jungle, and against a Mumu, stealing all of his buffs and making him even more behind is a terrible thing for him. So again, I was talking about forcing too many fights. You know, forcing things when you shouldn't be forcing them, especially when we're down 4,000 gold at almost 10 minutes. I'm out of mana again, Zed is pushing really hard. I can't leave my tower because I need this experience in gold. Elise is in our jungle again. And really low, but there's no Nasus. Nasus went back. I used my ultimate to go in right away because I'm out of mana. I ignite her, and I'm pretty sure she survives. Yeah, she does. And they clean us up. There's a Soraka ult that comes out, but you know it's not really going to do very much. And they get a double kill. Zed gets a double kill. 5,000. Sorry, still about 4,000 gold up. But really dumb play by me. Again, out of mana. And because we're so far behind because top and bottom lost their towers so early, Elise is just going in, stealing our blue buffs, and just being a nuisance generally. So I haven't been able to get any blue buffs. Amumu's getting behind in his jungle, and it's just really, really rough. They killed my mid-turret, and now they're 6,000 gold up. 11 minutes into the game. And in any sort of professional league or any sort of professional play, and even at this ELO, they should not have thrown this game. What they needed to do was either go for objectives, continue to control the map, and if anything, keep pushing. They're so much stronger. 6,000 gold lead. Item-wise, they're so much stronger. And actually, they've got really good wave clear, so they can just, if they were to push mid right now, they could get, you know, an inhib probably. That's how far ahead they are. And again, I have no wards. I have a ward in my inventory, but I just got a Seeker's Arm Guard. I have no boots. I have nothing. Elise is coming around the back, and they get a free kill on me. I'm pretty sure. So I flash here, and I thought that there was Wraith camps up. I was going to jump to them. So I wasted my flash as well on that, which is really bad. And again, super far behind. It's 0-5. Zed is up over 50 CS on me. because instead of trying to just focus on CSing and taking those small advantages, I was trying to roam and help out bottom help out Nasus, and it just wasn't working because I was constantly out of mana and I was not in a position to even be helping and being able to kill the Udyr. So I'm 50 CS down against a Zed, and somehow we still win this game. Spoiler alert, but crazy comebacks. We ended up picking up a kill on Nasus, I guess, picked up a kill. So much damage coming out on Straka there. And see, this is what they should be doing. They're pushing. Nasus is actually top, which is good. I mean, he has teleport, so if he really needs to come help save this mid tower, he'll be able to. But we need towers. We need global gold to even get a chance. We need dragons and we need towers. And so he's doing what he needs to do. But as you can see, they could tower dive Vayne pretty easily, and she knows that, so she backs off. We have a ward in this brush, which is nice. They get another turret, so... Oh my god, 7,000 gold ahead at 14 minutes. So really bad. We're trying to catch them out here and try and get something, and oh, we do. Really nice bandage touch there. I go again in with my Moonfall, and he was trying to flash over the wall or something. I get a shutdown bonus, which is nice. So I'm 1-3 now. I have 64 CS, and we also got a tower top lane. So we're slowly getting back into it. It's still 6,000 gold advantage on their part, but Zed is down now, and I think we go for a dragon, which will be pretty important. This is a pretty big turning point. Just that little mistake on their part gives us 2 global objectives. Tower, which is going to help our gold, and dragon. So we do end up picking up dragon. So we've just been scrapping kills here. Zed has just been trying to split push. He is 4-2. He'll just split push and then get caught like this. But again, we're all just playing terribly. We completely miscommunicated, and there are 5 of us converging on him, and he managed to get out. So really terrible there. You know, he's split pushing, and they had this whole thing warded, so he knew exactly where we were coming from. Again, even if anything, picking up an Oracles here would have been a really good idea for us, just to clear out our own jungle to get some of that vision back. So Zed is out. He's out of this fight, and again, he wants to split push, but we do a really nice job here picking off Elise. She's super squishy, and she goes down really fast. Udyr as well is pretty squishy. I don't know why, if he's not building tanking or what the deal is. He has a Frozen Gauntlet, but that's it, really. He has no magic damage, so I do quite a lot to him. Here you go. Zed is trying to take a turret. Again, this is like the overconfidence that can happen in games like this. Zed's like, oh, you know, I'm 4-2, I'll just split push, and this game is over. He tries to W over the wall, and he dies. And then wastes his ultimate here, but again, relatively low cooldown. It's not that big of a deal. He doesn't get a Mumu. But yeah, there's no reason to be that overconfident or that cocky. Zed should have just been there, and that would have been another team fight for them to clean up. And now it's a 3,000 gold deficit. So that's manageable. That's definitely manageable. We managed to pick up mid tower and top tower. Bottom tower is still there, but I mean, that's pretty ridiculous that we've managed to get back into this. And it's mostly because Zed got overconfident. He thought, you know, this is a game that we're going to win. Started split pushing. They got caught out of position. That was a 4v5 that we won down here. So we're slowly coming back into the game. Slowly but surely. And yeah, I'm just trying to farm up. I'm still 65 CS behind Zed, which is just insane. That's really bad. Because I know that I want this tower. I'm probably thinking that, right, you know, to myself, oh, we really need these towers. And Udyr comes in. I figure I'm definitely dead. But again, look how much damage I do to him. He's stacked armor and has the beginning of a Blade of the Ruined King. He has a Bilgewater. So I flash out. He's pretty fast. I don't know how he doesn't manage to catch up to me. I use my shield, get that procced off, and in comes Vayne to save me. I use both of my ultimates on him and manage to survive, and we turn it around again because they're out of position. You know, they're not grouping when they should be. They should be grouping with such a huge advantage. Elise tries to do a little tricky escape onto Amumu, but he picks it up anyways. So I was a little bit out of position. Well, I was really out of position. We had no wards in river. They should have just converged on me and picked up the really easy kill on me. But my team, because we're down, because we know that we have to group, the only way that we can win fights is if we group and catch people out, like we've been doing for the past 15 minutes. And that's what they think, that, oh, they can just split push and they're so far ahead. And look at what Zed's doing. He's doing the same thing again. He thinks, oh, I'm just going to take this tower, take this inhib for free. We have a Nasus who has teleport. No, his teleport's down. So Amumu backs and I back, and we try to get another turret. Because turrets are just as important, if not more important for us, because we're behind. So we do get the turret, and again, 2,000 gold. 2,000 gold deficit from, what was it, 7,000 gold at 13 minutes? Umumu misses his bandage shots pretty badly. Again, he ultimates the wrong person. Do I even have I have my Zonias now. So actually, he's got to choose between Zonia, ulting me, and then I'll be able to Zonias it, or Amumu. So really bad play by Zed. He was really far ahead, and he was being very aggressive. What he needed to do against a Diana pre-level 6 was to be aggressive. I think this is the first blue buff that I get. Top went a little bit too aggressive up here, and they died. Shutdown on Vayne. Vayne carried pretty hard as well. Bot lane, even though they lost their tower, most people would say, oh, you lost your lane. Well, it's a Zyra Caitlyn. They're going to be incredibly aggressive. They can push so fast. And even though they lost their tower, they didn't die very much. I mean, Vayne just had her first death there, and Soraka only has one death as well. So they just farmed up under tower. Their tower was killed, and then they probably just froze the lane down here and just farmed. Which is what they needed to do. And Vayne is getting really strong and does eventually carry us, because we have a pretty good front line as well. We have Amumu, we have myself, we have Nasus, so we have lots of sort of inherently tanky people that are actually pretty big threats. Like, you can't ignore Nasus, you can't ignore me, so they're unable to get to our back line, which, especially with the Soraka, who has heals and silences and things like that, she doesn't have a lot of peel, she doesn't have a lot of stuns, but since the tanks or the melee people on our team are going to be able to do a lot of damage and be threats, they're not going to be able to just ignore us and go straight for Vayne now, which they would have been able to do before. But anyways, let's see. I'm going to skip forward. Oh, I'll just fast forward a bit here. So yeah, just always try and keep your head in the game, and you would be surprised at what happens to your mentality if you just always stay positive. You're always going to be looking for where you can gain those advantages, whereas if you give up, obviously you're going to be defeatist. So Nasus responds really well here and sees Zed trying to backdoor us again. He uses his ultimate, and we teamfight at exactly the same time, which it's a 4v4, but since we've caught up now, and Nasus does a really good job there picking up Zed without getting the inhib, which is huge. So we're trying to clean them up here. Amumu does an amazing job just being our tank, being our front line, allowing Vayne to just do free damage. We blocked that ultimate from Caitlyn there, and just an amazing job. We saw that Zed was bottom again, and what they should have been doing is staying as 5 and, forcing Nasus to group or forcing Nasus to use his teleport to come to the team fight. But we did it the opposite way. Zed was split pushing, so Nasus was free to come. They did get the inhib, actually. Nasus was free to port down, and then it's still a 4v4, but we've gotten back into the game far enough that we're able to do damage. And Zed's their primary, he has 4 kills and he has a lot of CS. He's their primary threat, so him split pushing makes them a lot weaker in team fights. We have a 5-1 Vayne, and I'm 6-4, so I'm doing a lot of damage as well. I want to briefly talk about my itemization. I rusted Zonias because I was against a Zed, and they're actually mostly physical damage. Udyr, I guess he's Phoenix. He's going to have a lot of magic as well as Elise, but between Caitlyn and Zed, those are my primary targets that I'm going to want to start focusing, as well as Zonias is just incredibly good. Whoa, they almost caught me out there. Zonias is incredibly good against Zed. It's pretty much a straight counter. You just build Zonias, and then if he tries to ult you, you use your ultimate, and boom, he's useless. Not useless, but his ultimate is a huge part of his kit, and it's the reason why he's such a good assassin. And if you can completely negate that ultimate, really good job there. Nasus he withers Caitlyn so that reduces their damage on Baron. Vayne goes in here a little bit too aggressive. We have that warded, so Zed sees her, and Vayne sees him as well, but they trade 1-for-1, which is okay. We're team fighting here, and just an amazing job. Amumu is so tanky, and so is Nasus. Way more tanky than Udyr is. I actually jump over the wall and catch 2 of them out. So it's 3v1 up here, and 2v1 down there. And between Zyra and Kate, who is already really low, I'm able to 2v1 them pretty easily. So that is just huge for us. Really poorly misplayed. Vayne, if she had stayed alive, it would have been even a better team fight for us, but she saw Zed in that brush, and at least they were able to trade 1-for-1, so pretty good team fight for us, and now we're ahead, and we're going to be even more ahead once we get Baron. So Nasus had to back to try and defend this tower, but unfortunately that goes down as well. So we're still missing our middle inhibitor, but we do manage to pick up a Baron, and we're actually way ahead. So we don't have these gold numbers, so they might be thinking, oh, we're still way ahead, they just have a Baron, just wait out the Baron and we'll be fine. But we're actually well ahead now. We're 3k gold ahead. I'm fed, Vayne is fed, our carries are fed. Nasus is now really strong, so we're way stronger than they realize, and they're going to continue to force team fights, and it ends up losing them the game. So I'm going to skip way ahead here to towards the end of the game. Let's see. Go to 33 minutes. This is one of the last team fights and the deciding factor in the game. So just to recap, Diana is a really, I want to just talk a little bit about Diana in general. She's an incredibly fun champion to play. She's kind of like, she's in the same vein as an Akali. She's an AP assassin, but it's different. She doesn't have those resets. She's much more about just your positioning is really important. She can initiate with her Moonfall and with her Crescent Strike, but she's got a really high skill cap because you have to manage your auto attacks very well. Doing the maximum amount of damage on Diana is a difficult thing to accomplish, as well as making sure you stay safe. So that's what I'm doing here. Her cooldowns are relatively low, and we get a really nice job. We catch out of Caitlyn. She's forced to cleanse and flash away. Now she's completely out of the fight. Zed comes in way too late and pretty much just dives 5 of us. Really amazing ultimate from Soraka, and that's how strong our team comp is. We have an Amumu who just did an amazing job. I tried to flash onto Zyra. Excuse me. Tried to flash onto her just to catch her out, and I do manage to hit my Q, but it's not enough. But anyways, our team fight is actually incredibly strong. Between the Amumu ult, the Soraka ult, and our Nasus, it's just, we're really strong, and we managed to get to the point where our team comp shined. And it was incredibly difficult to get there, but we did it eventually. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's a little bit different. My commentary, I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you see some things that I can improve on, or have any suggestions, or have any questions about Diana or the gameplay in general. Going really aggressive there. Zhonya's at, how much health do I have? Let's see. I had 26 HP. I managed to Zhonya's, but that's one of the things that you can do with Elise, with Diana as well, is that with Zhonya's and her incredible burst, you can go and burst someone, and if they turn on you, use their ultimates and everything, you just Zhonya's. And it's a great way to sort of bait them into initiating on you. You initiate and they counter initiate onto you, but you can negate a lot of that damage just by using your Zhonya's really quick. So yeah, and that's the best way to play Diana, really is. As that sort of tanky sort of assassin, deceptive damage. And yeah, so let me know what you guys thought of the gameplay. We do eventually, I think we get another Baron here. Let's see. Yeah, they get another blue buff. I think I maybe got 2 blue buffs the whole game, which was really hurting my mana. Diana has really high mana costs and really does struggle early game, especially with her mana. But yeah, this is the final team fight. Really great job here too, positioning wise. Caitlyn should have just been with her team instead of trying to, I'm not really sure what they were doing. Let's see. I also completely forgot to mention too that NASA's DC'd, so the rest of this game was a 4v5 and we still managed to win, even being down as much as we were at the beginning. So really incredible game from us. So the really big thing with Diana too, and this is something that I can illustrate on Baron, is that what you want to do is you want to get her passive up, and then so when you dive in you can auto and get your passive damage on as well, which is a lot of damage. So I have auto attack twice now, it's up, and I see Zyra coming in, so I use my ultimate, and just the amount of burst is ridiculous. And also what you can do is you can Q in and then use your ultimate, and by the time you get in, your Q will have already landed, so, and I do that twice here. I also pick up Elise. I double dash to her just to make sure I kill her. Amazing heal again from Soraka, and notice what I'm managing to do. Amumu is safe, he's peeling for Vayne. I'm diving in on their carries. I killed Elise and Zyra in that team fight on my own. And they just did a great job. We did a great job team fighting. Our team fight is really strong, and the Soraka and the Vayne pretty much care. Oh, Amumu did incredibly well. Everyone did very well. I managed to steal kills and get back into a position where I could do my job, but early game I was one of the main reasons why we were struggling, because I was trying to force too many things and try and go to other lanes, and I also was probably being a little bit negative in chat as well. But anyways, stay positive in your games, even if you're down, Diamond 3, and you still can manage to come back when you're 7,000 gold down. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought about it. If you want to see longer commentaries, less skipping around, let me know. Thanks guys, see you next time.